Flair, fluidity, and most importantly, 3.17s. The Five Stripes take on this 9-match stretch in the reach for those playoff spots, and they get started in the way of dreams. 3 points over there in Seattle for the first time in club history, a victory 2-0 against the Sounders. This is your AT&T Countdown to Kickoff. That's Jason Longshore, I'm Joe Fryhofer. This lineup had a different kind of swagger, build up from the very beginning. Sean Da Silva showing off a little bit of European quality of his own. The Rabona out there on the wing.
Yeah, anytime I get to bring up a Rabona on a game call, I'm excited. Sean Da Silva brought a lot of life to it. I thought Edwin Mosquera brought a lot of life to it on the other wing. In my opinion, this was the best win of the season, the most complete win of the season. Defensively, you get the clean sheet, and there's so many good qualities about how the team played on the defensive side, but so much of that was based on what they did with the ball. I thought they controlled the pace of the game really well. I thought they slowed it down when they needed to. They sped things up when they needed to, especially early. They were able to play through Seattle in that building, which not many teams do. They were able to play through them pretty well and create a number of early scoring opportunities.
Yorgos Giacomakis finding himself now in second in the Golden Boot race. He finds himself with 12.
Wait a minute. You got to say it.
Boom! Boom! Giacomakis! Finds himself with 12 goals on the season, putting himself in the second place spot for that race.
And it was all about the collective, honestly. I mean, let's go back to the first goal from the corner that Brooks Lennon puts in right to the forehead of Yorgos Giacomakis. That play started with Mateus Hosechu delivering the outlet pass to Thiago Almada. Almada with a great weighted ball down the flank to Brooks Lennon. He's not able to put the cross in, but he earns the corner, and then that opens the scoring. The second goal, it's just brilliance from Thiago. I mean, come on. When you're delivering that kind of a pass, that's the ones that I try really hard to be quiet when Mike is doing his goal call. Forget it. When Thiago puts that kind of a ball in, it was just a great performance from those guys that you expect to deliver in creating chances. Lennon and Almada, two of the league leaders in that quality all season long. Yorgos, one of the league leaders in goals. But they do it based off the collective with Hosechu, with Muyumba in the midfield, with Mosquera, with Silva out wide. Big credit to Tyler Wolff as well, coming in off the bench and being one of the most active players on the defensive side of the ball. The two leaders in tackles in this game, Tyler Wolff in 25 minutes, and Yorgos Giacomakis.
Now Music City's very own NSC comes into the A. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We're back at home to see if we can maintain this momentum. 17, so they made it all the way to the League's Cup final. We know Messi, we've seen him do this a couple of times.
He's pretty good.
He's decent, he's all right. He's got a bit of quality here and there. Showed it off in Geodis Park as well, so they walk away in a heartbreaking fashion of losing in penalties there. Came down to the very end, goalkeeper against goalkeeper. Elliot Panico had to put it on the line and just couldn't guide it into the upper corner. So NSC comes to town now. A couple of characters that we know all too well. Georgia's very own Walker Zimmerman, we'll start with him. Always provides a defensive presence as well as such a threat in the box on any given corner.
The former Brookwood Bronco, Walker Zimmerman, he is so dangerous on the offensive side of the game as well. I think he's one of the best center backs in the league. We've seen that throughout his career in this league and with the national team. But he's such a weapon on set pieces. And even late in games when Nashville is chasing a game, he can be that extra center forward for them. Speaking of center forwards, they've added Sam Surridge, who won't be easy for Atlanta's back line to deal with. Surridge came in, got hot immediately during Leagues Cup, started finding the back of the net, and you thought there were some comparisons between him and the number 9 for Atlanta United.
Certainly, two bullies up top. It's going to be a battle from box to box between these two sides. Surridge, like you said, found himself in a hot start in Leagues Cup play. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists. Going to try and see if he can keep that momentum in league play now for him. A high price tag for him, by the way, $5.8 million from Nottingham Forest. So the expectations are there just like they are for a Greek god of our own, and seeing if he can keep his momentum there. Going to be some lineup shakeups for them as well, as we saw with our side and coming out with a totally new mix. NSC is going to have to do that, and Gary Smith as well. No Fafa Picault, as he's had too many yellows, so he'll be out for accumulation, suspended there, as well as Taylor Washington, a fullback who's found himself into the mix on occasion this season, between Daniel Lovitz out there on that left back side as well. Washington will also not be available for selection.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup between two teams that I think have very different mentalities about how they want to play. Atlanta United wants the ball. Everything is based on having the ball, including how they defend. Nashville, doesn't really want the ball a lot. They want to hit you on the break. But you look at the spine of the teams and you look at that construction. The two forwards we already mentioned, Giacomakis and Surridge. Nashville hopes that they get what Atlanta's gotten out of Yorgos Giacomakis. The two tens. I mean, Hani Mukhtar, MVP last year, maybe MVP this year.
Right.
He's that good. He's been that good. And then Atlanta's new number 10, Thiago Almada, maybe MVP this year as well. And then the center backs with the U.S. men's national team. Walker Zimmerman, Miles Robinson, those guys have played together a lot. Those guys lead the back lines for these two teams. Really similar, but also really different in the philosophy and the way they play. My biggest question for Nashville is what we saw from Elliot Panico in Leagues Cup. Does he continue in goal for Gary Smith, or do they go back to Joe Willis? Because Willis started the tournament, Panico finished it after coming in penalty shootouts. Who gets the job? Who's in goal on Saturday? We'll find out.
Expectations could not be higher, of course, like you said. Thiago Almada breaking out the new number 10 kit back at home for the first time. The 404 kit for the Five Stripes back at home. A couple of new names into that starting lineup. Sean Da Silva, Muyumba showed it off from box to box. Some tiki-taka flavor away against the Sounders. How do we recreate this back at home now?
I'm gonna have to learn what tiki-taka is in Georgian, the Republic of Georgia, by the way, as Saba Lobjanidze should be in the group for this weekend's match. Really excited to see how he fits in to this group. I think he's got a lot of flair, a lot of quality on the ball. It's just about building that chemistry, and we've seen the chemistry in certain parts of the field really grow this year. That central midfield duo of Mateus Osetiu and Tristan Muyumba, they complement each other so well. If Saba and Thiago and Shande and Yorgos can create that kind of a connection straight away, this attack will be hitting on all cylinders really fast.
You guys can catch this match, as always, 17s through the MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, 7:30 instead of that 10:30 later kick that we had last weekend. No need for the double espressos for this time, because it'll be a little bit earlier. And Jason, you and Mike are back in home turf.
We're back on Apple TV as well. You can choose the home radio option in your menu there. And you can always listen to us on 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app and the Atlanta United app. And if you want Spanish radio, you can listen to our friends over at La Mejor.
7th against 6th. Both sides are tied on points at 38. It's Music City's very own NSC coming to the A against the Five Stripes. That's Jason Longshore. I'm Joe Fryhoff for 17s. Bring the energy. The 404 kit is officially out. And we'll see you guys at Mercedes-Benz Stadium come Saturday.